Today on People Now, Ashton Kutcher testifies in the murder trial of a man suspected of killing Ashton's friend. We have details.
Also today, Lady Marmalade, but an all-male version. Ed Sheeran has a plan.
One of the best perks about starring in Rocketman, swapping casual emails with Elton John. We're with Taron Egerton at the New York premiere.
I kissed a lot of frogs before getting here.
Hilary Swank tells us how she finally found true love and all about her new post-apocalyptic movie.
Plus,
he does have a wife.
What? YouTube stars Ross and Granny are here.
It's all today on People Now. Let's go.
Hey guys, happy Thursday, everyone. Welcome to People Now. Good to see you. All right, here we go. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
Ed Sheeran making us say gitchy, gitchy, ya, ya, da, da this morning more than once. He revealed in a new interview that he wants to make an all-male version of Lady Marmalade. He's at least floated the idea with Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, and of course, him. The internet has some thoughts about it.
You're not going to sing it?
No.
Gitchy,
No.
yeah. Okay, we'll get into all of that in a bit. First, we want to know, is this something you want to happen? So vote in our People poll or tweet us your answer with the hashtag PeopleNow.
We're going to check in on the results, see what you think, and break it all down and the details from that interview coming up. But for now, here's what you need to know and what's trending today. We begin today with a brutal and traumatic story. A woman who was on vacation with her husband and friends in Punta Cana is speaking out about a gruesome attack that she suffered while staying at an all-inclusive Dominican Republic resort. We have to give you fair warning. The photos we're about to show you are very hard to look at. Tammy Lawrence Daly recounts her story in a powerful Facebook post, which she also shared with People. On the second day of her vacation with her husband and another couple, Lawrence Daly went to the resort's lounge for a late-night snack. On her way back, she was attacked. She explains her attacker completely immobilized her and pulled her into an unlocked maintenance room. She was dragged down concrete stairs into a crawl space filled with 2 to 4 inches of wastewater, where she lay in horrific pain for the next 8 hours. She says her attacker strangled her multiple times, kicked her in the head, and beat her with a club. Her husband and friends, noticing that she was missing, spent the evening searching for her. Lawrence Daly was beaten so severely her eyes were swollen shut, and she was going in and out of consciousness throughout the whole ordeal. In a miracle moment, the next morning, Lawrence Daly heard voices on the floor above her, and she began to desperately call for help. She spent 5 days being treated at a local medical clinic for her injuries. According to her Facebook post, her attacker was wearing a resort uniform. But the resort where she stayed, Majestic Elegance, claims no responsibility for the attack because she can't identify her attacker. But she's pressing the matter in hopes the investigation continues. Now, representatives from the resort and the Dominican Republic Police Department have not responded to People's request for comment as of the taping of this story. Lawrence Daly says she suffers from debilitating anxiety and panic attacks, but is slowly returned to her life. She tells People she's sharing her story because, quote, I'm at the point where I feel strong enough that I want to get this information out there because women need to understand they can't walk around by themselves. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. What I went through, I would never wish on anyone. Just horrific. I mean,
the pictures are horrible. Obviously, so upsetting that she went through this, and we wish her the best in her recovery.
And we hope somehow that she can find a sense of justice through this whole thing as well. We'll keep you posted on that as that story develops. Let's move on to this. Ashton Kutcher testified Wednesday in the trial of suspected serial killer Michael Gargiulo, who faces 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of 2 women, including Kutcher's friend, Ashley Ellerin. According to Kutcher, he and Ellerin planned to go on a date in February 2001 after having met a few months prior. Instead, prosecutors claim Gargiulo snuck into Ellerin's Hollywood home and stabbed her 47 times while she was getting ready for her night out. While speaking to the court, Los Angeles Deputy District Attorney Daniel Aikman presented the case, alleging that Gargiulo had a long history of methodical, premeditated attacks. Watch.
The methodical and systematic slaughter of women by Michael Gargiulo, the boy next door killer. That's what this case is about. Michael Gargiulo was leading a double life. Gargiulo, who fancied himself as an expert in forensic science, attacked 4 women with a knife, killing 3 of them, and then was able to escape detection for almost 15 years.
Here we see Gargiulo sitting with his lawyer in the courtroom. The DA also went on to describe the alleged killer as a man who waited and collected intelligence on his victims, an opportunist who, quote, pounced and killed before escaping. During Kutcher's testimony, he outlined his memory of the night LuAnns was killed. You can see him here referencing a blueprint of the victim's apartment. Kutcher saying that nobody answered the door when he knocked, and that before he left, he peered through a front window and saw what he believed were red wine stains on the floor from a recent party. Prosecutors believe those stains were, in fact, actually from blood. The next day, when Kutcher learned LuAnns had been murdered, he reached out to police to explain his involvement in the situation, saying that his handprints would have been on the doorknob. Gargiulo is also charged with the 2005 stabbing murder of 32-year-old Maria Bruno and the attempted murder of Michelle Murphy, who was viciously stabbed in Santa Monica in 2008. Gargiulo has pleaded not guilty, but prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. All right, on to this. Friends of Star Trek actress Nichelle Nichols are reacting to a video of the 86-year-old screaming. They're also speaking out against her son, Kyle Johnson, who's been named her legal conservator by a court. On Tuesday, Nichols' manager, Gilbert Bell, provided Atlanta's CBS 46 with a disturbing video, apparently taken by him, in which the TV star can be heard screaming in protest as she holds what Bell claims are legal guardianship documents filed by her son, Kyle Johnson. Speaking of People, Bell said he has been Nichols' manager for 12 years, adding, quote, "It's pretty devastating what's going on with this icon." That's his statement. Meanwhile, Nichols' close friend, Angelique Fawcett, told People she was shocked by the video, which was reportedly recorded on April 23rd. Fawcett revealed that she knew Nichols and her son had a bad relationship, but said she had never, quote, never seen Nichelle scream like that. It was pretty dramatic, apparently. And Nichols' son, Johnson, had no comment when reached by People. Johnson filed a petition in 2018 to assign a conservator for his mother. In the petition, Johnson claimed that Nichols needed court-ordered protection because certain individuals have unduly exerted themselves into Miss Nichols' life to her detriment. In court documents obtained by People from August 2018, Fawcett objected to Johnson's petition to be named Nichols' conservator, arguing that the actress is perfectly able to manage her financial and personal affairs. In those documents, Fawcett alleged that Johnson's primary purpose in becoming his mother's conservator was to obtain access to her estate. Nichols broke a major race barrier when she was cast in Star Trek. When the show first aired in 1966, Nichols was one of the first black women to play a major role on primetime television. She's popularly cited as having the first interracial kiss on American television as well, when her character famously locked lips with white leading man William Shatner's Captain James T. Kirk. All right, moving on to this. Watch. Yeah, you remember that iconic 2001 hit with Pink, Lil' Kim, Christina Aguilera, Maya? We lived for this music video back in the day. There was a period of time, this was the hottest thing in the world. What if that song was recreated by an all-male group? Well, that's what Ed Sheeran wants to do, apparently. In an interview with Charlemagne the God, Sheeran revealed that his upcoming album titled Number 6 Collaborations Project was inspired by him wanting to recreate an all-male version of the iconic pop song. He tells Charlemagne, quote, "This project actually started with one idea I had, which was, you remember Lady Marmalade, right? This is such a silly idea. I had an idea of doing that. Like you could get Bruno Mars, Justin Bieber, and me on a record. How fun would that be?" That was his quote. Of course, social media was quick to step in to give their thoughts on the whole idea, and look out for some of these takes. Let's take a look at a couple of these tweets now. One Twitter user saying, "I just read somewhere that Ed Sheeran wanted to create a male version of Lady Marmalade. I literally cannot think of anything worse than a male version of Lady Marmalade," to be clear. Here's another one. Lady Marmalade recreated with Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, Bruno Mars would be like waking up dead.
Wow.
One more. Excuse me. If Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, and Bruno Mars remake Lady Marmalade, I will break the fourth wall and screech into the camera that's recording this sick joke of a comedy sketch.
Yeah, people aren't really happy about this.
What do you think?
I mean, okay, look, it's so iconic the way it is. I'm not sure if you have to recreate it. However, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt here, right?
Let me just say,
why don't they just do a new song?
Yeah, but I mean, it's kind of the era of redos and remakes and reimagining. I just feel like, you know, some of my favorite music is when I'll listen to like acoustic covers of popular songs.
Yeah.
So I always have an appetite for, let's hear how they would do it.
Keeping an open mind, but
Yeah.
I don't know if we need it.
Yeah. But some people are outraged, everybody.
Well, let us know your thoughts on Twitter using the hashtag #PeopleNow.
Andrea, you have more for us than Star Trek.
Yes, I do. We are kicking off Star Trek today by welcoming a baby to the Bachelor family. Ari Lyndek Jr. and Lauren Burnham welcomed their first child together on Wednesday. A baby girl we now know is named Alessi Wren. Ari kept fans in the loop on Instagram ahead of Alessi's arrival, revealing late Tuesday Lauren had gone into labor and sharing updates on her progress all day Wednesday. After the baby's arrival, Lauren shared Alessi's first photo with the world on Thursday, writing, "She is sweet, calm, and Ari and I could not be more in love with her." The proud new dad posted a photo as well, captioning the sweet moment, "This was the first time she laid eyes on me, and I'm forever changed." The Bachelor couple previously teased their daughter's unique name in April, adding that they chose the moniker way back in December. Now, at the time, Lauren said it was a name they tweaked into something unique, adding, "We don't really know anybody who's named that." I don't either. Do you know an Alessi?
Nope.
I think it's beautiful.
I do too.
Now, many of you may remember the couple got their start on Ari's season of The Bachelor back in 2018. The real estate agent and former race car driver realized that Lauren was the one for him only after he had given his final rose and proposed to Becca Kufrin. It was dramatic. It was a thing. Now, despite the rocky start, the couple has been going strong, even tied the knot in January in Hawaii. Ari told People in March, "Love is not always perfect. Everyone finds each other in a different way. It's not always a fairy tale, but as long as Lauren and I have each other, we're happy." And we are so happy for the new parents. All right, watch this.
Let them know who you are. And just don't kill yourself with drugs.
That was a clip from the new Elton John biopic, Rocketman. It's about the life of the infamous rock star and pianist. Jeremy and I saw the movie. We loved it.
Honestly, blown away.
I was crying at one point.
We laughed, we cried, we sang along, and it makes you reappreciate the music all over again.
Can't stop listening to Elton John songs now. But the movie, it's about his childhood, his rise to fame with struggles with drugs, sex, and addiction. He actually pushed back against PG-13 rating. He wanted it to be accurate. It's rated R.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's some, he goes through some really difficult things.
Yes.
There's also some steamy stuff that he gets into and that the other characters get into. We don't want to spoil anything, but let's just say there's a little bit of everything.
You should go see it. I went to the New York premiere last night. The cast came out. You have Taron Egerton, who plays Elton John, as well as Bryce Dallas Howard, Jamie Bell, Richard Madden, Tate Donovan, and more. It was a lot of fun. They were playing the music as well. Now, the outfits in this movie are incredible, kind of mirroring what the real Elton John wore. So I was excited to talk to Taron because I knew he was campaigning for that denim jacket from Tiny Dancer. Looks like he got it. So I asked him where else he's gonna wear it. I also asked him about how Elton John sends him daily emails with positive reviews of Rocketman. Watch this. This is the jacket from Tiny Dancer. You got it, right?
Yeah. The song's playing right now, yeah.
Yeah. Where else do you plan on wearing this?
I feel like it's really good festival wear.
Okay. Are you a big festival person?
I have been in my time.
Yeah. I know that he emails you positive reviews. Elton does. Is there anything else he emails you? Is he like a gift guy?
He might be.
You might be? Your hands are gonna tell me?
I'm not, I can't, I can possibly.
You know what I love?
What?
Well, I was just gonna say that one of the #1 rules probably of having any personal relationship with Elton John, you don't give any of it away.
I
You don't
know,
talk
but
about
I
it, right?
tried. I wanted to know
No,
if
you
he was
did
a
a good
gift
job,
guy.
yeah.
I still wasn't over the fact that Elton John is sending these daily emails with reviews, so I tried to pry a little more. I spoke with the real-life Bernie Taupin. He's a music legend who wrote so many hits with Elton, like Tiny Dancer, Crocodile Rock, Rocketman, of course. He played such a central role in Elton's life, so take a look at this.
Elton, you know, throughout his entire life has been that character. He follows everything. He has this wonderful ability to be able to track what everybody is saying.
So he's sending these emails and just saying, "Hey, good review, guys."
Yeah, he'll say, "Here's another one. Here's another one," and I'm spending most of my time trying to figure out how to view it, you know. And by the time I get it, it's, you know, I'm just happy that people love the movie.
So yeah, he's saying that Elton's sending these reviews and he can barely even open his phone to figure it out.
Well, it's one thing to just experience the movie. You get a new appreciation for Elton John and what he's been through, and then you understand why he's so proud of this.
Yeah.
And why it means so much to him.
And the real-life Bernie Taupin is a legend too, so it's so cool to talk to him. Now in the film, Bernie's played by actor Jamie Bell. He does an incredible job portraying their relationship as friends. The chemistry feels very authentic. Now on top of that, some amazing news in his life. Jamie actually just welcomed a baby girl with his wife, Kate Mara.
Yeah, congrats
So
to
I
them.
had to get the update on that. Plus, since the movie focuses so much on Elton's strained relationship with his parents and sad childhood, I wanted to know how the story has affected Jamie as a dad. Watch. This movie really shows how, you know, Elton's parents really affected him. Has it made you think about fatherhood?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, I think Elton had a very he had a father from a certain generation, I think, and we're so far beyond that now. I mean, we just had a baby, obviously, so like, just the inclusion that is that men should want to have, and that role is a vital role to play from the very beginning, you know. Like, for example, Elton's father, I don't think ever came to see him play. and I just can't imagine ever doing that. You know, but he's come through it, and he's doing all right.
What's been the hardest part about these last couple of weeks with the new baby girl?
Sleep, no sleep. It's not sleeping at all. It's always the hardest, but you know, you're almost tiredest, and when you feel like you're all going to fall apart, as the baby like involuntarily smiles, and you're just overcome. So yeah.
I will say the movie does make you think differently, especially how you would want to raise kids. Did it affect you, Jamie?
I ran home, and I'm not kidding. It's like I immediately like hugged my girls extra long, because there's some really tough parts where Elton John really just wanted affection from his father that he didn't get. It makes you reconsider all of that and understand his music so much better. We could rave about this all day.
I know, we could go on and on and on. But you guys, you should definitely check it out. It's a raw biopic, not censored or toned down at all. It comes out tomorrow, May 31st. All right, moving on to this. Wednesday night was a big night for Star Wars fans. George Lucas, Mark Hamill, Billy D. Williams, and Harrison Ford stepped out for the dedication ceremony of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. So it's an epic new land inside Disneyland Park in California that officially opens Friday. But we got a sneak peek at all the ways you can totally immerse yourself in the planet Batuu. You can take control of the Millennium Falcon, sip on some blue milk just like Luke Skywalker, craft your own lightsaber, build your own droids. Basically feel like you're in a galaxy far, far away. Sign us up. There's also a Star Wars Galaxy's Edge land making its debut at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Florida this summer, so fans across the country will have a chance to visit. Now, we caught up with Principal Project Manager for Walt Disney Imagineering, Brent Nichelle, who teased plenty of fun and secret details in store for fans.
I mean, the place to go is Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities. There's so many Easter eggs, so many items, just so much stuff in that place to look at and take in and interact with. There are tons of Easter eggs throughout the land. One of the things to look for is things from old movies. There are actually a couple things that come from a different galaxy, not Star Wars, that have landed in this galaxy. So you may be able to find those if you really look hard enough.
This looks so cool.
It really does.
Now, a heads up, reservations are required to visit the park between May 31st and June 23rd. And be sure to download the Play Disney Parks mobile app to interact with droids, collect virtual items, even play games and buy snacks while you're in line for rides. We know those lines can be long. We caught up with Disneyland's executive chef, Jason Martin, who recommended the blue milk and the Batuu hummus in particular. He said all the food at Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is super colorful. A lot of it is plant-based, perfect for fueling your quest to live your own galactic adventures. And those are your Star Treks for today.
I'm basically at a point where I want to book a trip to Disney, leave the rest of my family somewhere else, and I'm just going to go to
I want to try the snacks. That sounds great.
The snacks and the whole, it's a full immersion. I'm going to fanboy out, and I just want to be there. Take me there, please. Stay with us, guys. Michael Phelps and his wife, Nicole, are getting real about parenthood in a new Parents Magazine cover story. We've got all the details and an adorable peek behind the scenes with them. Plus, viral sensations. Ross Smith and his 92-year-old granny are talking dating, Granny's connection to Chuck Norris, and so much more. Stick around for that.
All right, after Ed Sheeran announced that he wanted an all-male version of Lady Marmalade, we asked if that is something you would want to happen in our People poll. So let's check in on what you guys are saying.
Scared of this. Nope.
Oh, actually, this is very close. Some people are into it.
I think most people have an appetite, or a lot of people have an appetite for something new.
But if you're talking Ed Sheeran, Justin Bieber, and Bruno Mars, it's going to be good.
Yeah, they're incredibly talented. And it doesn't take anything away. The original is the original. It doesn't take anything away.
Maybe you're honoring the original.
An homage to the original. There's a fine line between, right, like ripping it off or like homage.
Yeah.
This would be an homage.
I think so.
All right, keep voting. Now we move on to this.
I don't know what we'd do without our phones.
No.
You don't even know what it was like before our phones. You know what the Dewey Decimal System is? She's like, the Dewey who?
Oscar winner Hilary Swank there, schooling her I Am Mother co-star Clara Rugard on some outdated technology.
I mean, tech always changes quickly, gotta keep up, but imagine a post-apocalyptic world where a teen has been raised by a droid with superior artificial intelligence.
Then imagine that teen's world being shaken when she encounters another human survivor for the first time, calling everything she knows into question. It happens in this movie. Hilary Swank brings the intensity in I Am Mother. I asked her about her career-long streak of playing strong women. We look back at some of your great roles, and survivor stories seem to be something that resonate with you. Why is that?
Well, I think we're all survivors in our own way. No matter what it is, we're all surviving something. You know, it's life. It's like what our pasts are, what we're made up of. I'm drawn to the outsider. I just like the underdog, you know? Something about persevering through adversity is really inspiring to me. No doubt. So I'm definitely, now you can definitely look back and see the trajectory of the choices I've made, and there's that through line for sure.
Hilary Swank is staying busy off-screen as well with her hubby of almost a year, entrepreneur Philip Schneider. The two were married in the summer of 2018 in a romantic wedding in California.
Hilary started dating Philip a few months after calling off her engagement with tennis pro Ruben Torres in 2016. She was previously married to actor Chad Lowe. Hilary Swank had a pretty funny response for me about finally finding true love when we chatted about married life. I've been programmed over time, and I wondered if there was something you could program your husband to automatically do better, what would it be?
You know what? I have to say, I know it's like, no, he's great. There's not anything, look, it took a long time, you know, to get to the right guy. I kissed a lot of frogs before getting here, but there's not anything that I would really change. I'm really happy with him. You might want to ask him that question.
Okay, got it. You know what I loved about her, and kind of you think about her roles and some of the hardcore characters she's played, and then when she started talking about him and their love life, she just softened.
Yeah.
There was this sense of just, you can tell she's really feeling it.
So lovely.
Yeah.
All right, guys, Thomas Middleditch is the latest celeb to swing by couch surfing to take a look back at some of his most beloved performances.
Thomas is a well-known comedian and an improviser. One role he's asked about the most is the broker in a bow tie. Yes, that was his official name in Martin Scorsese's Oscar-nominated film, The Wolf of Wall Street.
I get so much pleasure if I'm walking to the airport or something and someone just goes, "Hey, bow tie guy, fishbowl guy, new issue day!" Or they scream that at me. I'm like, "Yeah, new issue day!" That was such a weird experience because, you know, literally the character is called Bow Tie Guy.
Wait, he doesn't have a name?
No. But I was, you know, it's Martin Scorsese, it's all these names.
course.
I auditioned very hard to get that role.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Really?
And I won.
I would be yelling Verizon guy.
It's very memorable,
Yeah.
either way. Now, Thomas has been promoting his upcoming film, Godzilla, King of Monsters.
Typically, we go into this movie thinking that it's about the iconic monster, right? Thomas and the cast had a little bit of a different take. It's a plea to save the environment. Watch this.
Honestly, it's a big crazy movie about monsters, but the underlying message is, it's like climate change. The premise being these monsters are like Mother Nature trying to correct itself. And you know what? If I can be a part as a wholehearted, grassroots, granola crunching, tree hugging environmentalist, if I can be a part of a big ass movie that talks about like, hey y'all, let's f***ing right these wrongs, I'm in.
I really, really like him.
He's so funny.
You guys, Godzilla premieres Friday, May 31st. You can watch Thomas Middleditch and dive into a bunch of his other roles when Couch Surfing drops on PeopleTV this Friday.
All right, Michael Phelps and his adorable family are hitting the pool for the July issue of Parents Magazine.
So we all know Michael as the most decorated Olympian of all time. He's got 23 gold medals and holds numerous world records for butterfly, freestyle, and more. But at home, guess what, guys? He's just dad.
He and his wife Nicole have 2 kids, 3-year-old Boomer, 1-year-old Beckett, plus they're expecting their 3rd this fall. You can start your name pools now. As you can imagine, Just Keep Swimming is the name of the game around their house.
So they're revealing all their parenting tricks in the issue, dealing with sleepless nights, trading off on household chores, and how Nicole deals with mommy guilt.
Yeah, she says this: there is always guilt, no matter what. Do the laundry, clean the sink, put away the kids' stuff, but if there's one thing I've learned, it's that it will all be there later. That was her quote, and she added, the time for me to be a healthy parent and a healthy wife is right now. It really makes sense. Look, it should be a valued thing to take some time for yourself as a parent, or else you just kind of burn out.
Me time is very important,
Yeah.
right?
It
you
is.
would know as a dad.
In general in life, but especially when you're a parent, you got to have a little bit of time to refresh. It's not surprising as well, Michael's me time, it's usually in the pool, he swims.
And he says if he's in a bad mood, he goes for a swim, and 99.9% of the time, he'll feel better.
Yeah, mom and dad also admit that having kids has made things difficult at times in their marriage. Nicole says they actually communicate better these days. She says it's all about listening to the other person and hearing them out before jumping to any conclusions. It's communication,
Yeah.
everybody.
And Michael agrees with that, saying at the end of the day, they always work together. They're constantly learning. They're even taking cues from the kids. Michael says Nicole taught 3-year-old Boomer to take lion breaths when he gets frustrated. So now when Dad is frustrated, Boomer will remind him, Dad, take a breath. Breathing, very important.
And nothing to snap you into better behavior
Than a 3-year-old
than a kid kind of
telling
calling
you.
it out like, oh my gosh, I feel terrible. For more with Michael, Nicole, and the whole fam, you can pick up a copy of Parents. Now take a look at this.
My daughter gets the People magazine every week.
Oh yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yo, that is quite an endorsement for People. That's Ross Smith and his 92-year-old granny. The duo have become a viral sensation online through Instagram and YouTube. They have their own show on Whistle Sports, and they're even developing a new beer pong-inspired interview show.
They were so much fun to hang out with, and we needed the scoop on how this all started. So let's hear them explain.
It started about 5 years ago. I was at his home, and we were in the backyard, and he had a basketball hoop, and we were just clowning around, and I put the ball in the basket.
See?
And that started.
And that's it.
That's
that
it.
easy.
To this
That's
day,
it.
she doesn't understand that's not what happened.
What happened?
You made the first shot, and I didn't film that one.
Oh.
I filmed the second one where I blocked your shot.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I thought that's the way it was,
Yeah, you
Sonny.
say that every time.
Uh-oh.
But you did
That
make
age.
the first one. They just didn't.
She made the first one, but I didn't show anybody that.
Yeah.
So you put the one on where you blocked it.
Yeah, I
and-
block it.
And
I get in her face like all aggressive.
And
like,
that just blew up.
yeah, I went everywhere. That's how it all started. Yeah.
I love them. I want to see the one where she made it, though.
Me too.
Right? So it all started with a silly basketball video, like we heard. Then before they knew it, they had their own show, Savage with Ross and Granny, which you can see on Whistle Sports' Facebook page.
One of my favorite episodes is when they go on blind dates together, kind of. Take a look.
I think still to this day, the best episode we had was Grandma and I got to go on double dates. It'd be like blind dates, I mean. And I had a microphone in my ear, and she'd tell me what to say to the person.
Oh, nice.
And vice versa. And she hasn't been on a date in 30 years?
Yeah, good 30 years.
Yeah, since my grandfather passed. So this was like breaking the ice. And the guy looked like Colonel Sanders, and he was an old man.
I watched
Yeah,
that episode and
yeah.
I thought it was so funny.
Yeah.
It was.
So what's the update? You still single?
Are you seeing that guy yet? Did you call him back?
No, he does have a wife.
What?
Oh my goodness.
He was dipping?
Yeah, he just did that.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Granny, you got to be careful here, accidentally home wrecking if she's not taking it easy. In addition to Savage with Ross and Granny, the duo are also working on an interview-style show while Granny plays beer pong with their guests.
We asked them how they discovered Granny's athletic abilities and one of her unlikely friends. Watch.
The past few years, I found out she has a crazy hidden talent, and it's beer pong. I don't know where you learned it. If you were at a party, you partied hard back in your day, or what. We started making some trick shot videos. She went on Steve Harvey's show. She beat Steve Harvey. She beat like Chuck Norris. She beat a couple other
You
people.
beat Chuck Norris?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
What was Chuck's response?
He just took and
Gave you a hug.
embraced me and shook his head. It was bewildered.
Chuck Norris taught her how to do some martial arts. I thought that was
really?
super
Wow.
cool. She broke a board.
Nice.
He put me in a chokehold and like I literally passed out. That was super cool.
Granny and Chuck Norris, could you ask for more epic combo than that?
No.
I don't think so. In celebration of all things silly and Granny being such a sharpshooter with beer pong, we decided to put their skills to the test in a round of basketball that we like to call Shooting the Shiz. Check it out.
You ready, Granny? You gonna
Granny,
start
you
this?
ready?
I'll try my best.
All right, here we go.
Everything you ever wanted. One shot, one opportunity.
Go.
Oh, she missed it. All right, here's your question, Granny. Who is your celebrity crush?
I know who it
I
is.
do, but I can't think right now.
Do you know who they're?
I know she has two, and she's met one of them. She definitely loves Chuck Norris.
Chuck Norris.
Oh, yeah, Chuck Norris is tops.
Okay.
But Tom Selleck.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
Tom Selleck.
Look at her face light
Is
up.
the stash?
Yeah.
Tom Selleck. Dumps it in. Here we go. Ross, I can tell you be terrible at this.
Oh! Hammer
All
around.
right,
Come on up,
Granny.
You're up.
Oh, okay,
Not
Granny.
good.
What's your biggest pet peeve about your grandson? Is he neat? Does he clean up? Does he do dishes?
Oh, he doesn't clean up.
Okay.
His clothes are all strewed around.
What are you talking about, dude? That's what you're here for, to fold it for me. I just say folded clothes. I'll do the laundry all day.
Ross,
Okay.
I think it's your turn.
Kobe. Oh,
All right,
wow.
what's the worst pickup line you've ever used?
How about I tell you about my best pickup line?
Okay.
Right here. Bringing her around's like a cute puppy.
Oh, yeah?
She got me my last girlfriend, so.
If he brings a new girl home,
Yes?
what's it take for you to like her?
Well, I like the personality. I like how vivacious she is.
Turns
Thank
out,
you so much.
Wait, I just got word. It turns out Granny won the game. I didn't know.
Granny, you
took it home.
Do a dance.
Yeah, here we go. Yep, high fives. You dance it out for us?
Yeah, let's hit that shoulder dance for him one time. Shoulder up. Hey, them shoulders. Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You make out with my guys, LuAnns, my guys.
Sonia, would you be quiet now? Now you're really pissing me off.
You all go with my guys. And Ramona just made out with Harry.
You did. You made out with Harry. Just tell her.
You were making out with Harry Dubin, and I saw you at the new boutique.
Kind and polite.
God, take it to the wire, Ramona. Jesus, close your legs.
All right, we're about to discuss that Miami moment and so much more from this week's Real Housewives of New York City, plus some highlights from this week's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and the Real Housewives of Potomac.
And here to dish on everything from the chic to the bleak within the Real Housewives world are People writer and reporter Jody Guglielmi and People TV producer Sam Belikoff.
Hey guys, let's dive in here. A lot happened in this week's Real Housewives of New York City. We're going to start with night one and focus on night one in Miami. Sam, in that clip, Sonja was drunk. She was angry at Ramona and Lou for getting with men that she's been with before. Break it down for us. What stuck out to you?
You're gonna see a smile across my face for this entire segment because this was such a good episode. I mean, in this moment of the fight, so basically, every man on the show, really, not every man, but that Sonja has been with, both Ramona and LuAnns have also been with. So Sonja was friends with benefits with Tom D'Agostino. Ramona dated him. LuAnns ended up marrying him. Harry Dubin, Sonja dated 30 years ago, and he even got engaged to her on this show, and LuAnns ran off with him. And just this moment, he was found making out with Ramona. So she's very drunk, as we're going to keep discussing. But the things she's saying are kind of truthful. And what Dorinda's saying here is that people are discounting her feelings and kind of treating her like a good time girl. And it's true. I mean, there's a girl code, and she should be upset, and she is.
Also, there are so many guys in New York that the crossovers maybe don't have to
Seems
happen.
unnecessary.
It's so small. It's so small.
I guess you know who you know. But.
In the middle of this argument, Dorinda gets in the mix, so let's watch this.
Don't tell me what to say.
I'll say whatever I want.
Oh my God.
Don't you tell me. Like you said to me the other day, I'll do whatever I damn well please.
It's my cabaret show, and I can talk about whatever the hell I want to.
And I will send you a lawyer's letter, and you're not going to use me to bolster yourself up.
I asked you, please leave her out.
Wow. So Jody, what'd you think of this moment and Dorinda bringing up the cabaret argument from earlier in the episode?
You know, I think she initially joined in on the argument truly to defend Sonja, but then she was like, oh, this is my opportunity. Like, I'm already in it. Let's go. She clearly has an axe to grind with LuAnns, and she's genuinely bothered and upset that LuAnns keeps talking about her in the cabaret show. So I think a little alcohol, already a heated moment. She was like, this is my time to get my feelings across.
Yeah, you can tell when it's actually genuine, and it
Right.
really was in this
Yeah.
case. The fight at dinner continues, guys. Watch this.
I came to your rehearsal. You're a f***ing diva.
I'm not a diva.
Shut the
She's okay.
Don't talk to me like that.
You don't get off your high horse.
I'm not on
Don't
high
you
horse.
tell me not to talk to you like that. Because
Don't
you
talk
know
to me
what?
like that.
Don't tell me not to talk to you like that. I will talk to
I'm
you.
leaving.
Okay.
I'm
leave.
leaving.
Okay,
I will not put up
leave.
with this. No.
Leave.
I will not.
You don't want to hear it? Leave.
I think everyone needs to take a nap and calm down.
We've had Sonja on before. She usually seems so unbothered, and she's very
Oh
bothered.
my goodness.
Very bothered.
Sam, do you think LuAnns should have stormed off like she did?
My opinions on this waver back and forth. I was gonna say that no, she shouldn't have stormed off. You know, like Sonja was actually, even though she was drunk, was kind of saying legitimate things. A lot of the women were feeling this way, but then actually, and also her being sober, it's hard to probably be there and being attacked while everyone is being drunk. But watching that back, I was like, I almost wanted to walk away from this segment. So
No,
yeah, like
you make a
of course she should
very
have
good
stormed
point.
off.
Hard to be surrounded by people that are all
Yeah.
hammered and berating you, right?
Yeah, Jody, after arriving late, Bethenny comes down to dinner, gets up to speed, and then goes to talk to LuAnns. What'd you think of her talking to Lou one-on-one instead of in front of the group?
I thought that was actually very smart of her. Like we've been talking about, it was already such a heated moment. Emotions were flying everywhere. I think Bethenny knew if she wanted to actually get through to LuAnns, she had to do it one-on-one. Because if she was with everybody, everybody else would have gotten involved, mixed messages would have started happening, and I think Bethenny's a straight shooter, and she was like, hey, listen, these are my feelings, and I don't want to go behind your back. I want to say it to your face.
End of the day, she's going to kind of say it and tell it like it is.
Right.
And that's what she did here. Sam, there's a brief moment where Ramona basically excludes Barbara from going out with her that night. What was surprising here from your perspective?
I mean, it wasn't surprising at all that she excluded Barbara. What was surprising was her excuses. She was basically saying, I want some Ramona Tinsley catch-up time. Like, in the 3 seasons Tinsley's been on, it's so hard for me to think of any time that they've had, like, a one-on-one scene. And then when Tinsley was saying, oh, I don't want to be a mean girl, and she felt bad, Ramona just goes under her breath, well, I'll go out by myself. It's like she so badly didn't want Barbara to come. It was just hilarious. She was grasping at straws.
Yeah, so lots of talk about who's going to go out, including Sonja, who seems to be falling asleep. Then this happens.
Go to bed or go out. I'm gonna knock you out.
We're
gonna knock you out.
I'm gonna knock you
Try it. Give me your best shot. Give me your best shot. Go to sleep now.
I'm gonna knock you out.
Do
right
it.
now.
Hit me with your...
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Okay, Sam, I
Dramatic.
mean, everything seemed to be leading here. What's your take on what happened?
I mean, she literally fell asleep. But I said this a few weeks ago, to be continued indeed. It was another Sonja moment where she does not go gently into the good night. And here, you know, I think we're going to see more of that. What's funny is this is an iconic moment for Housewives fans because season 3, Scary Island, which is probably the most iconic episode of the entire Housewives franchise, not New York, Bethenny screamed, go to sleep to Kelly Ben-Simone. So people have been waiting for this moment to see how it plays out. So of course they're going to put it on to be continued. Of course they're going to make us wait till next week. But, you know,
I'm just glad
it's
she's
exciting.
okay.
Well,
it's
yeah,
a little
right.
scary, and she
It
is
is,
okay.
yeah.
But that was frightening.
She is okay.
What did you think of that, Jody?
I mean, it's just, like we said, we kind of all saw it coming a little bit, and when she falls, I think my reaction was the same as the women's. You're like, oh, this just got super real. Like, she could be injured right now. So it was scary, but you know, entertaining.
Yeah, well, that's always the thing about this
don't
show.
wanna
There's
laugh,
a fine
but-
line between
yeah.
laughing and
Yeah,
I just think
exactly.
one quick thing about that. The preview for next week has an ambulance. We know Sonja's fine. She said she's fine. And Tinsley and Ramona just sidestep it on the way to their night out. It's ridiculous.
All right, let's move on to the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. The action kicked off in Hawaii after Camille's wedding, where Camille told the ladies that she was upset LVP did not attend. Then in the van to the airport, this happened.
In between the brunch and going to the airport, an article came out in People magazine where Camille is professing her eternal gratefulness to Lisa Vanderpump, being such a good friend and really helping her and supporting her. She's basically saying Lisa Vanderpump encouraged me to take a leap of faith on this journey. She could have warned us at the breakfast we just had.
Exactly.
This is coming
2 hours before it was posted. I'm so confused.
And when she just said, I'm so hurt that Lisa didn't even reach out or post anything or say anything about me and blah, blah, blah.
And here she says, I respect her decision.
So of course we're adding that People magazine mention to our promo reel. No
Did
big
you hear
deal.
that we said People magazine?
Yeah, right. Sam, what'd you make of that moment?
I love how Kyle is just sitting like clutched, lockjawed with that purse. She is feeling such a tense moment. I mean, here's the thing. I think it's possible to have two mutual feelings at the same time that are opposite. And these women are really, really raw with the whole Lisa Vanderpump situation. So they're basically looking at this as an attack by Camille. It's not. I think what Camille is sort of explaining in her blog and what you can really make from the episode is that she respected Lisa's decision not to come to the wedding, which she said in the article, but also she was personally upset by it and wished her friend would have been there. I mean, we've all had those situations where we respect our friends' decisions but wish it would have went another way, and I think that's what really happened. But of course, with everything Camille has been doing this season, they say it's another evidence of her being two-faced and, you know, letting people see what they want to see and hear what they want to hear. So we're going to see more of that, I'm sure.
Yeah, so then Lisa Rinna goes on to tell Dorit that Camille has also said some negative things behind her back a while before the wedding. Jody, what do you think of the timing of all this?
I think that I've noticed throughout the season that Camille is kind of switching her tone and her views based on who she's talking to. Clearly, Lisa Rinna has taken notice too, and I think since this was kind of already the topic of conversation, Lisa Rinna is not one to bite her tongue, and she had been holding back that information for so long that I think it probably felt really good for her to get it out there. And I kind of understand the timing because, like I said, they were already talking about Camille kind of choosing playing both sides a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to Halloween or Farroween. Look out. It's also celebrating Kyle's oldest daughter, Farrah's 30th birthday. We're going to talk about Rinna as Erica in just a little bit. But otherwise, Jody, what stood out to you from the costumes that they brought out?
I mean, they almost had a whole litter of cats there. Like, everybody was a cat in some way, and I loved it. I have to admit, I've gone as a cat before for Halloween.
That's a great costume. No arguments.
I also thought Denise Richards looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
I loved her costume. I was really impressed with how everybody turned up.
No, they were dialed in.
They all look so hot. When I went into Halloween a couple years ago, I was a birdhouse.
Yeah.
I don't think
Weird
I never
decision.
get to.
No compliments that night. I'm looking hot. Weird.
Not really. Like we mentioned, Rinna dressed up as Erica Jane, which comes into play in a big way because Kyle's sister Kim Richards was there. I know we've been talking about Puppygate a lot this season, but this week Bunnygate reared its hoppin' head. Watch.
Oh my God, okay. You know what, I want to say one thing. Kim, you giving Lisa Rinna that bunny was really but giving Lisa Rinna that bunny was really Okay, let's take a picture. Now we can go.
Wow. Okay, Sam, refresh your memory on why this is a big deal.
Well, Bunnygate was basically the last time Kim Richards was really on the show in a full-time term. She and Lisa Rinna had a lot of arguments over the years, as you can see in this clip right here, which I referenced last week as one of the most iconic moments of all time. But anyway, they've had a lot of trouble, and that in all history. That season, basically, Rinna gave Kim Richards a bunny to give to her grandson at the reunion. She brought the bunny back and said, "I can't give this to my son. My grandson. I'm giving it back to you because of the bad juju." It has been a cloud over our heads for years. So the fact that this is coming back 2 years later is a shock. And then who would have thought that the resolution would have come from Rinna pretending to be another housewife and then calling it up in third person?
Let's say the clouds are starting to clear a little bit in this looming thing. Jody, what do you think, though, of Rinna being in character as Erica during that moment?
I loved it. I think it's clearly something she's been wanting to say for a long time. She's had some feelings about the bunny. She never really got over it. Erica Jane is very bold. She's very out there. So I think Lisa Rinna was like, here we go, let's do this. Because, you know, when you're dressed as somebody who's outspoken, you're also outspoken. You have feelings about something. It's kind of the perfect tornado.
Yeah, I like Bunnygate more than Puppygate. It's a
Me
little,
too.
Yeah, a lot more fun.
Me too.
Sam, what do you make of how the other women reacted to this moment between Rinna and Kim?
This is actually, I think, one of the most interesting part of the episode. I mean, Kyle was really defending Kim, and Kyle was kind of getting into it against Denise. So that's interesting for two things. One, I think Kim Richards needs to come back to this show. I think that the central tension of having sisters on the show and having to defend each other, even if you believe they're in the wrong or in the right, is invigorating, and is why we fell in love with this franchise in the first place. And then Denise, even though we've loved her, we've kind of never seen her in an argument, really. So that was something to see that she has, you know, that Kim Richards lit this fire under her. So, you know, that was something really to keep an eye on for the future of Denise Richards, because she's going to be here to stay for a while, I believe.
I agree. I like the tension with the sisters. That would be good to bring that back. Let's really quickly hit this. Ultimately, Rinna and Kim, they come together, seemingly make up. Jody, what do you think of how that went down?
I thought it was nice. I thought it was a long time coming. It was a much needed conversation, and they both got to say their piece. And I truly do believe that moving forward, they can hopefully be cordial with one another.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the Real Housewives of Potomac. The ladies head to New Orleans, but before they get there, Giselle is shocked to hear that Karen shares more information about her business to a stranger than she's told Giselle herself. Then in New Orleans, Giselle brings the whole thing up and a fight ensues. Watch.
Do you really want me to be your friend?
I came to support you. You made it a point that you introduced me to this woman, and now, hold on.
That's your
hold on, wait a minute. We're gonna do it, we're gonna dance, okay? You made it a point, now you bring it to the group like it's a problem, how I responded.
No, it's not a problem, you did great. It was about, damn, me and Karen ain't friends.
You know, that's not true.
Because I don't know
That's
nothing
not true, but you know
about
what,
what's going
on that
on in her life.
note, I am a little tired of the bullshit. I'm gonna get some fresh air. This is why I don't trust your ass, Giselle. It's just a full-blown attack from out of left field, trying to demand something of me that she does not deserve.
All right, Sam, whose side are you on here?
I see Karen's point in like it coming out of left field. It's never good. Giselle probably should have taken her aside, but ultimately I'm on Giselle's side. I mean, when you're trying to be friends with someone, open up to them, and that's been their whole issue. Karen's not opening up to Giselle. The fact that this woman knew more about Giselle, even about Karen's company than Giselle, and Giselle had been asking for a long time, including last week, years ago. I mean, I'm on Giselle's side, and this is a relationship that is rocky and will continue to be, and it's for the better of the show.
Can I just say, I think Potomac might have the best epic dramatic music of all of them. Did you hear that coming in there? It was like The Dark Knight Rises or some Batman movie or something.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah.
All right, Sam and Jody, thanks so much for being here. Everyone, make sure to follow along with us and watch The Real Housewives of Potomac Sundays at 8, Beverly Hills Tuesdays at 9, and New York City Wednesdays at 9, all on Bravo.
All right, guys, we're taking one last look at our People poll. We've been asking you if you would want an all-male version of Lady Marmalade, like Ed Sheeran suggested. Some very
it is
heated...
exactly 50-50.
Have we ever had that?
I don't think so. It's the first time, Jeremy.
Jody, what do you think?
I'm kind of for it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm interested to hear it.
Like change it up, see what happens, right?
Why not?
All right, we'll be asking you a new question of the day tomorrow. Some people now, so tune in for that.
Coming up tomorrow, guys, we'll be joined live by the Eli Young Band. They'll tell us what it's like to take over country radio, teasing their new music.
Plus, Storm Reid stops by to discuss the new Netflix series When They See Us, which tells the story of the Central Park Five. She also gives us the inside scoop on the best group chat ever. You got Oprah, Reese Witherspoon. Who else is in there? You'll find out. We'll tell you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. For now, we leave you with one last thing from Jenna Kramer and Mike Cosson. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Mike Cosson.
And Jana Kramer.
And this is One Last Thing.
The last date night we had. God, we need a date night.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Last vacation we took.
Scotland.
Last thing we gifted each other. Golf trip.
Louis Vuitton purse.